Listen carefully, because right now, heaven is moving in your favor. There is no silence on the throne when you cry out with sincerity. Every word that came from your heart reached me before it was even fully formed on your lips. No request was ignored, no tear was wasted, no prayer was forgotten. I have already released the answer. My angels are already on their way today. I want you to receive this message as someone who opens a door that was already unlocked, but only needed the courage to push it. You are not standing before an empty promise. You are standing before a divine decree. Nothing I speak ever returns without fulfilling its purpose. When I speak, heaven moves, the earth aligns, and time itself bends. Today, I declare that forces you cannot see are working with precision to break invisible chains that try to delay what I already established over your life. No spiritual resistance can stop what I have released. No delay can frustrate my plans because I do not just begin works, I finish them with perfection. My eyes never get distracted. I know every detail of what you live through, even the things you don't dare tell anyone. When you thought you had been forgotten, I was already on the battlefield for you. My angels were sent the very moment your faith rose up, even trembling. While you prayed, doors began to unlock. While you cried, strongholds were collapsing. While you thought nothing was happening, a heavenly army was advancing. There is no wall that can withstand the power of what I determine. Angelic action doesn't happen when you see it. It happens when you believe. There are movements in the invisible preparing the ground so you can walk with steady steps. I am aligning events, connecting paths, repositioning people, removing silent obstacles, and turning what seemed impossible into undeniable testimony. Nothing happens by chance when my hand is at work. Do you remember when you thought it was the end? In that moment, I was already writing a new beginning. Many looked at your journey and assumed the delay meant you were forgotten. But for me, time is not a barrier, it is a tool. I use time to prepare the soil where your victories will be planted. Every second of waiting has been a bridge between what you cry out for and what I have already decided. You were not forgotten in the silence. The silence was the incubator of the miracle that is about to be born. No waiting is wasted when I am the one in control. There is a purpose hidden in every second you believed was a loss. I turn loss into momentum and delay into even greater momentum. There are angels positioned with clear instructions, carrying answers that will change the atmosphere of your life. Do not look at your circumstances as sentences. They are only scenes that bow before my voice. One word from me is enough to bring down walls that have resisted for years. When I decree something, not even the darkest night can stop the light from breaking through. My order has already gone out. The battle has already been decided in heaven on your behalf. You are about to see with your eyes what has already been confirmed in the invisible. While many are restless, I remain sovereign. Nothing escapes my dominion. The winds obey my command. The sea becomes silent before my voice, and storms stop when I appear. If I control the universe with perfection, why wouldn't I control every detail of your life? You are not abandoned to chance. You are held by an eternal promise. I sustain you with power and love. There are blessings that have been waiting for the exact moment to be revealed. That moment has arrived. My angels are moving in your direction, carrying what I ordered to be released at the perfect time. I am never late. My timing is exact. When I decide, no opposing force can resist. Even if demons try to raise walls in your path, My order knocks them down one by one without effort. Angelic action doesn't only happen in great places or majestic temples. It enters simple homes, passes through silent hallways, and steps into dark rooms where hearts cry in secret. I have seen your late nights, your quiet sighs, your prayers broken by exhaustion. Not one of them was lost in the wind. All were recorded before me and turned into decrees of victory. What looks like stagnation to you is for me the perfect interval for everything to fall into place. I am connecting people you do not know yet, opening doors you never imagined, aligning events, so that when everything is revealed, you will see that you were never alone. A day will come when you will look back and understand that I was guiding every step with precision. I am the answer even before the question is spoken. I know what you need before the request leaves your mouth. I am the God who works while you rest. When you run out of strength, I begin to act with even more intensity. When you feel like there are no more resources, I send help. When you think it's over, I show you that I'm only getting started. You will see doors opening where there used to be only walls. You will see paths appearing in the middle of the desert. You will see abundance growing where there was only lack. My angels do not travel empty-handed. They carry what I promised. They bring healing where there are wounds, peace where there are inner battles, and restoration where there are ashes. Spiritual warfare is not fought with human weapons. It is won in the invisible realm where my voice commands legions. While you pray, I move. While you trust, I work. While you walk, I prepare the ground. Delay is not defeat. It is preparation. Do not fear the passing of time, because every second serves my purpose. Those who trust in me will not be put to shame. Your cry has not been ignored. Your pain has not been meaningless. And your journey has not been wasted. I have seen every detail, even those you tried to hide from yourself. Heaven is in motion. The answer has already been released. My angels are marching toward you with the exact speed needed for everything to happen at the perfect time. You are not unprotected. There is a heavenly covering over your life. Nothing can intercept what has already been determined. Do not fear the voices saying it's too late when I speak. The final word is mine. No human verdict is stronger than a divine promise. Today marks a turning point in the spiritual realm. As you hear these words, something begins to move over your story. A new season is being announced. Heaven has risen on your behalf. This is not about luck. It is about a destiny that has been divinely aligned. It does not depend on human circumstances. It depends on my sovereign decree. Before this video ends, allow faith to rise inside you like a flame that reignites after a cold night. I am breathing hope into you, reviving promises, awakening dreams that seemed dead. There is no situation so dry that it cannot bloom when my breath touches it. There is no valley so deep that it cannot be lifted by my hand. Like this video right now if you want to publicly declare that you receive this word. Every act of faith releases a powerful spiritual atmosphere. What is happening is not just a message. It is a divine calling. I am calling you to take your place, to believe without wavering, to receive what I have already released. You will see signs, unexpected answers, and doors opening with supernatural ease. People who once ignored your cry will become instruments of my work. The reality around you will start to change not by chance, but by direct intervention of my power. When I decide to move, nothing remains the same. You were chosen to live this answer. You were prepared for this time. Everything you faced was not punishment. It was refinement. I turned pain into resilience, tears into seeds, and silence into preparation. Now everything begins to make sense. What was hidden will be revealed. What seemed distant will be placed in your hands. There is no delay that can remain standing before a divine decree. Heaven has aligned itself at my command. My angels are already crossing barriers, dismantling traps, knocking down invisible walls, and undoing plans that oppose what I established for you. Nothing can stop what is coming. Today I am touching territories you believed would never be reached. Inner places where you stored wounds, memories and old prayers you thought were forgotten. I am removing the weights that have been sitting on your soul. Because to receive what is coming, you cannot carry what once hurt you. Nothing that was launched against you will withstand the power of my outstretched hand. No spiritual attack has authority to remain when I release my command. The battles you never told anyone about were seen from the heights of my throne. Every war fought in silence. Every night you held pain in your chest. Every moment you believed no one understood. I was there not as a spectator, but as the commander of heavenly armies. When you thought you were fighting alone, a legion of angels was already surrounding you, covering the atmosphere, guarding your mind, and protecting your faith from collapsing. The answer does not come small because I do nothing halfway. It comes full, complete, powerful, and overwhelming. There is a release happening right now, moving along invisible lines, crossing borders that the natural world cannot explain. I am breaking barriers that were raised years ago, undoing invisible agreements that tried to delay you, and neutralizing hidden strategies of spiritual resistance that were set against you. Many looked at you and saw only an ordinary person, but I saw someone carrying eternal promises. While some underestimated the strength of your walk, I was building within you a spiritual structure capable of holding a level of glory that few can understand. Everything you endured was training for this moment. Every tear watered seeds of victory that are now beginning to grow without restraint. I do not send angels for nothing. They do not come without a mission. Every single one that is on the way carries detailed instructions prepared with divine precision to reposition your story. I am activating doors that have stayed locked for too long. I am removing locks that do not open by human strength, but surrender at the sound of my voice. Nothing resists the decree of the I Am. Your life is about to experience a spiritual acceleration that goes far beyond human logic. What seemed stuck for years will begin to move so quickly that even you will be surprised. When I decide to accelerate something, time stops being an obstacle and becomes an ally. Everything that was held back will be released like a river breaking through a dam. The abundance that was restrained by invisible attacks will now flow with intensity. Do not accept the weight of the words spoken over you trying to convince you that it was too late. I specialize in turning impossible situations into undeniable testimonies. The impossible is simply the stage where my glory shows itself more powerfully. When I declare something, no human, spiritual, or earthly system can reverse it. The order has already been given. The angels have already received the command. I know exactly where the cracks were, those places where your hope tried to slip away. And today I am closing every single one of them. I am returning to your heart the confidence that was stolen along the journey.
I don't just want to give you answers. I want to restore your ability to dream without fear. There are dreams you kept in silence, believing they were too old to come to pass.
To me, no promise expires. What I promise remains alive, waiting only for the exact moment to bloom. Remember this. In my timing, there is no delay, only preparation. I am preparing people who don't even know yet that they will be instruments in my hands to bless you. I am opening paths in places where you have never set foot. I am raising intercessors for you in places where your name has never been mentioned. When I decide to act, I connect destinies in ways no human mind could ever design. The spiritual delay that tried to surround your walk is being undone like smoke disappearing in the wind. My orders are carried out with absolute precision. I am releasing warrior angels to cut spiritual ties that fed cycles of resistance. What once looked like a maze with no exit will now become an open, illuminated path. You will see doors swing wide with divine ease because when I move, everything aligns. Do not underestimate the power of the faith you held on to, even when no one saw it. That prayer whispered in the silence of the night was not forgotten. It lit a flame in heaven that stayed burning even when you thought it had gone out. Today, that flame becomes a living fire consuming everything that tried to block the fulfillment of the promises. I do not forget prayers prayed through tears. They do not evaporate, they rise. Each one was kept as a precious fragrance before me. While many saw no value in what you said in prayer, I recorded every word, every tear, every sigh. Now that record becomes manifested answer. You will not have just isolated victories. You will have an abundant harvest that will touch areas you didn't even realize were being worked on. While you focused on one door, I was opening 10. While you asked for one answer, I was preparing an entire path. I do not work with human limitations. I work with fullness. Those who tried to delay the fulfillment of the promise will see that nothing can stop what I decide to do. No spiritual barrier can remain standing when my voice rises. Today, I am dismantling hidden strategies, undoing invisible agreements, breaking chains that were thrown against you. Nothing will remain standing before the force of my decree. You will experience the lightness of living without the weight of delays that were never yours to carry. The feeling of stagnation will be replaced with a continuous flow of grace and favor. My angels do not only bring answers. They clear paths, remove obstacles, reposition destinies. Every step you take will be guided with precision because nothing in the spiritual realm is in the same place after this release. This is not about temporary emotion. It is about spiritual reality being activated at the right time. I am eager to manifest what I promised, not because I am late, but because I appointed this moment to be the moment of fulfillment. You were not forgotten in the line of promises. You were prepared to be proof that waiting is never in vain when I am the one who makes the promise. There will be days when you wake up knowing something shifted. You won't be able to explain it, but you will feel in your spirit that a new season has begun. Doors will open smoothly, connections will appear unexpectedly, and opportunities will arrive without human effort. This will not be luck. This will be divine intervention. You are at the center of a spiritual movement that began before you were even born. None of this is coincidence. Your story was written with precision from the beginning. Every turn, every detour, every tear, and every victory were part of a bigger design. Now that design is beginning to reveal itself clearly. There is no opposing power strong enough to resist a living promise. The spiritual forces that tried to slow you down are being scattered. My angels carry keys that unlock prison swords that cut chains and light that dispels darkness. There will be no more spiritual blockages over your life. The time of resistance is over. You will see the supernatural manifest in practical ways. Situations that were stuck for years will suddenly break open. People who turned their backs will return transformed. Doors that were unjustly closed will open with honor. What was denied in the past will be restored in double measure. When I decide to release something, no one has the power to hold it back. When I breathe, barriers fall. When I give an order, angels run. When I touch, reality changes. What you are about to live is not the result of human effort, but of direct intervention from heaven. Nothing will be able to keep you in the same place anymore. You were born to move forward, and that is exactly what is happening now. A heavenly march has been activated, and you are at the center of it. Do not fear delays anymore. They have been canceled. Now is the time for advancement, acceleration, and fulfillment. Today, I am releasing spiritual keys that open doors no one else could ever open. These keys don't belong to human systems, but to the kingdom that rules over everything. Each one of these keys was forged in the furnace of your perseverance, in the fire of your faithfulness, when you kept praying even when everything seemed to be against you. You have no idea how many heavens were moved simply because you chose to keep trusting me. The waiting wasn't a punishment. It was a silent preparation so that you would be ready to receive what you couldn't carry before. While you questioned the silence, I was shaping the structure that would hold the weight of the promise. Great answers cannot rest on fragile foundations. I strengthened your spirit, expanded your vision, and sharpened your spiritual sensitivity so that when the answer came, you would recognize it wasn't coincidence. It was purpose. The spiritual resistance that tried to hold back what I already released is now facing an irrevocable decree. My angels have been commissioned with direct orders to remove everything standing between you and the manifestation of what I promised. No hidden power can resist a command that comes from my throne. There is no room for blockage when I say, move forward. I know the behind the scenes of everything you face. I know where the words that tried to wound you were spoken, the silent judgments cast over you, the doors that were unfairly closed, the moments you stood alone carrying burdens no one else understood. Nothing escaped my sight. While everything seemed stuck, I was writing a story that would even surprise you. I am breaking patterns of delay that repeated through generations. Spiritual cycles that seemed unbreakable are being shattered today. What paralyzed others will not have the power to paralyze you. Your story will not end where the pain began. My power is crossing family lines, cutting spiritual roots that fed resistance, dismantling traps set in the dark. When I intervene, even what was written against you becomes a testimony in your favor. My angels don't move with hesitation. They move with urgency. They are already crossing territories to open paths that looked closed for decades. They are touching hearts that were once hard as stone. They are entering places you don't have access to because some environments can only be reached by heavenly intervention. The battle that felt too long is about to give way to an advance so intense that even the opposition will lose its strength. I don't want to answer just a single prayer. I want to release a whole new season over your life. This is not just a blessing. It is a new chapter, a new route, an expansion that will change the atmosphere around you. I am activating promises that were stored during the waiting, releasing accumulated favor and manifesting honor where there was once shame. Where there were tears, there will be laughter. Where there was silence, there will be testimonies. You didn't notice it, but every moment you chose to keep believing was like raising a banner in front of the enemy. It confused the plans of those who wanted to see you give up. What many called weakness, I called spiritual endurance. What looked like loss was actually territory being gained in the invisible realm. Now it is time to reap what was planted with faith. I am repositioning people who will be part of your destiny's path. Some will arrive without warning. Others will return transformed. And there will be those I myself will remove, because what is coming no longer fits with people who carry the mindset of the past. Do not fear the separations. Every removal will be protection. I never take something away without having something greater prepared for you. The spiritual delay is not stronger than the authority of my word. When I speak, everything obeys. Today, I am commanding everything that was paralyzed to begin moving, held back finances, stagnant relationships, shelved dreams, dormant gifts, blocked paths. Everything starts flowing again. What looked dead was only waiting for the right breath I am breathing now. I am activating scenes you thought were lost. Places where you were doubted will be the same places where I lift you up with honor. Those who only saw your falls will now witness my hand raising you before everyone. The answer I prepare is not silent. It is visible. Because I take pleasure in showing the world that those who trust in me are never forgotten. The angelic activity happening right now is not subtle. It is intense. Legions are marching with precision, breaking through spiritual walls, dismantling traps that were set against you in moments you didn't even notice. Some attacks were stopped before they even reached your life. Some ambushes were destroyed before you were aware of them. You were protected, not because you were strong, but because I decided that the promise over you would not be interrupted. Every step you take from now on will be on ground prepared by me. I am removing stones, fixing turns, lighting the pathway. What once required exhausting effort will now flow with ease. Because when I prepare the atmosphere, even the improbable aligns. The time of walking in the dark is over. I don't just hear your prayers. I take part in them. When you cry out, heaven answers. When you raise your hands, I extend mine. When you feel like you have no strength left, I support every fiber of your soul. No cry is wasted when I am the one listening. My strength is limitless. This reality dwells within you, even when life's tempests attempt to obscure it. I am the creator of your being, the constant presence in your life, even during your moments of solitude. I have witnessed your falls, your struggles, and the tears you've shed in private, concealing your pain from the outside world, yet never from me. Now I speak softly to you with the unwavering love of a father who truly cares. You have endured enough. I am aware of the weight your soul has been grappling with. I have listened to the unspoken sighs, the thoughts that loom in your mind like ominous clouds. But never believe for a second that you are overlooked or that your tears have landed on unyielding soil. Each tear has been collected, every single one accounted for. Nothing you've faced has bypassed my gaze. Even during those times you perceived my silence as neglect, I was holding you close. I have never ceased to see you, nor have I stopped my care for you. I, the everlasting God, have accompanied you through every journey, even those marked by fear. I now urge you to trust in me and to embrace a quiet patience. There exists a designated time for all things beneath the heavens, and your moment of healing is approaching. What you have lost does not signify an end. Rather, it is a shift. The pain you've experienced was intended not to destroy you, but to unveil a strength you never realized you possessed. There were reasons I permitted certain events to unfold not out of enjoyment for your suffering, but because in my infinite wisdom I am shaping a resilience within you, a heart capable of finding tranquility amidst turmoil, and a faith that remains steadfast even when chaos surrounds you. From the instant you opened your heart to me, my plans began to unfold in your favor. Even in your blindness to it, my angels were dispatched. Powerful forces have risen against the blessings I have in store for you, as the adversary is aware of the goodness that is about to be bestowed upon you. This explains the intensity of the conflict, not because you stand alone, but due to the magnitude of what lies ahead. An unseen battle has been fought with you at its core. Yet fear not. I am your protector, your fortified stronghold, your sanctuary in times of trouble. I implore you not to allow sorrow to take root and become a permanent inhabitant in your heart. Reject the partnership with pain. The adversary wants you to believe that your suffering is eternal, that this is all there is for you. But I assure you that is a falsehood. Avoid the whispers that diminish your faith, those that seek to draw you into despair. Don't nourish your mind with doubt or engage with those who have lost sight of my might. Instead, surround yourself with individuals who remind you of my essence, with those whose faith sparks a flame in you and who direct you towards my word rather than fear. Everything you seek is not a temporary solution, but an enduring relationship with me, the true source of your strength. I am aware of the heavy load you bear. I recognize each thought that disrupts your peace, every concern you have carried, especially for your dear ones. I know this struggle impacts not only you, but also your loved ones, your household, and your daily serenity. However, even within this challenge, I desire to reveal profound truths to you. I long to disclose aspects of my nature that can only be fully grasped in desolation. Trust does not flourish in comfort, but rather in the realm of uncertainty where faith undergoes its truest test. Cast your burdens upon me. Do not bear what I have already promised to shoulder for you. Cease trying to tackle everything by yourself. This is the reality I wish for you to absorb. I am the origin of all your sustenance. I am your guide, ensuring you do not go without. Though it may seem like the weight stretches on, it's important for you to know that I am at work even in moments of invisibility. Your responsibility is to remain steadfast, empowered by my strength, rather than withdrawing in trepidation or succumbing to anxiety. Do not move through life as though hope eludes you, for my spirit dwells within you, and my hand continues to steer your path. Keep progressing, even if results don't appear immediately. When it feels as though the heavens are sealed, be assured they are not. All that you have sown through obedience and faith will be brought back to you. Do not retreat now. You are nearer than you realize. I am on my way with the solution you have awaited, but rest assured, my resolution will not only address the issue, but will also transform you in the process. This is among your final chances to wholly yield to me, to acknowledge what I have been communicating to you from various angles. Do not postpone your total surrender to me any longer. Stay here. Attend to my voice. Dwell in my presence, and you will witness a new path reveal itself to you. I am the one who creates a way through the sea and pours rivers into arid lands. If you place your trust in me and remain close, what may seem like ruin today shall become a testimony. For I am the Lord who restores, who elevates the downtrodden from the dust, and who adorns the humble with a crown of glory. I assure you, you have endured enough. Get ready, for something new is coming from my hand. Pay close attention to what I want to unveil to you today. Your eyes have yet to witness certain things. There are victories I have already secured for you in the heavens, even if you have yet to see those victories manifest on earth. Sometimes the delay in receiving is not due to obstruction, but rather a preparation for you to embrace the blessing without being overwhelmed. What is on its way is significant indeed, glorious, but to accept it, your heart must be firmly grounded in me rather than in your feelings, your schemes, or your own might. Keep close to your heart that I am your fortress and your strength. There is no refuge beyond my protection. When you encounter challenges, which will certainly come in varied forms, do not let anxiety take hold. Avoid hastily pursuing human solutions that merely increase your burdens. Instead, direct your spirit towards me, entrusting every aspect of your need into my capable hands. My assistance is never late. It is always timely, certain, and eternal. I see the courage within you. I know how often you have desired to surrender, yet here you still stand. Nonetheless, strength flows from me. The season you face calls for a depth greater than solitude. You were never intended to bear this burden apart from me. Even though you have grown strong from your suffering, even though you have cultivated bravery through your trials today, I proclaim that you require my support. I am your foundation, your safeguard, and your triumph. Moving forward alone will certainly lead to exhaustion, not merely physical weariness, but a far more treacherous fatigue, the weary state of the soul, that quiet fatigue creeping into your thoughts, leading you to doubt everything, including the promises you once held boldly. A weary soul becomes vulnerable to the enemy. He is patient, waiting for the moment when you are at your weakest, not attacking while you are strong. Should fatigue take over, the urge to withdraw from our connection will gradually increase, leading to a fading focus. The once clear route may become hazy, prompting you to question whether it is worth continuing, whether I am truly listening, or whether you have correctly interpreted my will. If you don't remain vigilant and cautious, stumbling may occur, not because I have left you, but because you have released my hand, resulting in a loss of your balance. It is during these moments that those who oppose you, fueled by darkness, will approach. They recognize the grace I have bestowed upon you, and notice the favor enveloping your life which disturbs them. Their intent is to make you falter, not due to your individual identity, but rather due to the light you represent against the darkness. Thus, they assault you with deceit, confusion, betrayal, reasoning disguised as doubt, hurtful words, and environments that undermine your faith. They seek to extinguish the fire I have ignited within you. Yet today, heed this truth spoken directly from me. No force can completely overpower you because I stand with you. I am the one who fights on your behalf. I am the one who rises when others turn away. I am the source of strength for those who possess none. And though there will be moments when it feels like defeat is imminent, I am actively repositioning you, preparing you, and fortifying you for something much grander. Don't lose hope, beloved. Refrain from rushing when waiting is what you truly need. I will deliver the answer. This will not be just any answer, but a divine, pivotal moment that will transform your life uniquely. Yet it will come forth at my choosing in my perfect timing, not yours. Hence, I urge you to practice patience and trust. In this patient waiting, true faith emerges, the kind that believes without needing to see, the kind that rests in my faithfulness when everything surrounding you suggests otherwise. Such faith opens doors. Such faith moves my hand. Through my hand, you will encounter remarkable victories, not just visible successes, but wins that refresh your soul, profound peace, unshakable joy, wisdom that endures, and clarity of vision. I do not grant you what the world offers, which is fleeting and temporary. I provide what transforms your eternity. Set aside worries regarding timing methods or barriers. Simply have faith. Fix your eyes on me, not the obstacles. Listen to my voice above the clamor of your thoughts. I did not summon you to live under the heaviness of anxiety. I called you to liberation, to abundance, to triumph. Everything you require dwells in my presence. Return to it repeatedly, regardless of how you feel, for even in confusion, I remain your God. My movement is not influenced by emotions.
I respond to truth. And the truth is this: you are part of my plan. You reside in my heart, and you are under my care.
Though adversaries may yell at you, my voice rises above. Even if others abandon you, I remain steadfast. When everything around seems to crumble, my word remains unchanged. My word for you embodies life purpose and renewal. You shall not fear. This phase of breaking will not last forever. It is but a season, and it nears its end. You have endured sufficient hardship. Stand tall, for what I have in store for you exceeds your requests, surpasses your dreams, and goes beyond your imagination. I have observed every step you've navigated. Nothing escapes my awareness, from the minutiae that burdens your spirit to the internal battles too delicate to share. I have seen how amidst the clamor around you, the silence inside has frequently been the most agonizing. The weight dragging down your soul is not concealed from me, nor is the effort you exert to keep standing even in times of inner fracture. And know this: experiencing pain does not equate to weakness. On the contrary, you have endured far more than you realize. Several avenues have been obstructed before you, not because of a lack of faith or irreparable errors, but because those paths did not align with the higher purpose I hold for you. You have questioned numerous times whether you are regressing, whether all you've experienced has been in vain. In that tempest of thoughts, you have sometimes felt unheard, as if your prayers linger without direction. But that is not the case. Every word you have uttered is recorded, every tear you have shed is gathered, and every cry has been acknowledged. Although my replies may occasionally seem slow, they are always on the way to you. There are understandings your mind has yet to embrace. Sometimes you interpret the current moment through the lens of pain, which alters your perception. You are unable to discern the purpose as you view it from your wounds, not from the eternal perspective. But rest assured, a grander work is unfolding, something profound that transcends the visible realm. An unseen metamorphosis is in progress, molding you into a person who will undergo a significant change. My goal is not merely to alter your external situation, but to transform your inner being. Furthermore, this transformation demands time, a journey of surrender, unwavering effort, and trust. I have intentionally arranged moments of quiet so you can discern my voice amidst the clamor. With numerous viewpoints surrounding you and expectations from various sources, it is crucial to hear from your spirit rather than the external pressures. You aren't meant to bear the burden of other people's judgments or the demands that aren't from me. There exist invisible chains that bind you more tightly than physical shackles. The weight of unnecessary guilt comparisons, fear of failure,
and the urge to justify your worth to those who will never see it holds you back. I am also breaking those chains. When you felt you were regressing, you were actually being guided onto a different path. Not everything that shatters signifies a loss. Certain things must break for something more valuable to emerge. What you perceived as a chapter's closure was often merely a rough adjustment leading you toward a fresh start. Indeed, the process can be painful. No one relishes the act of pruning. Yet it is in that pruning that what is unfruitful is removed, eliminating distractions that deplete energy without yielding results. Everything taken from you has not come from malice, but rather from a place of compassion. I am preparing the soil of your life for the new, eternal, and authentic to flourish. Do not seek human logic for matters that can only be grasped spiritually. Some occurrences may appear irrational according to earthly reasoning, but they perfectly align with the purpose I am realizing. The waiting you've experienced has not been a refusal, but rather a period of preparation. In due time, everything will align perfectly. I have been clearing your path of unnoticed obstacles, influences that clouded your judgment and impaired your discernment. I have labored quietly, without grand proclamations, yet with steadfast resolve, because I desire for you to experience a life that is whole, fulfilling, and rooted in truth and purpose. Do not feel shame for the times you have stumbled. Avoid allowing your darkest moments to define you. Your worth derives not from your accomplishments, but from the one who has accompanied you throughout. The utmost value has already been assigned to you, and nothing and no one can strip that away. What many have overlooked in you, I have sanctified. What others have failed to comprehend, I will utilize to demonstrate my glory in ways you have yet to envision. Now is the moment for you to direct your gaze not toward past missteps, closed avenues, or things beyond your understanding, but toward what lies ahead. And this journey is not about exertion, but about tranquility, for there is no longer a need to prove anything. You no longer have to persuade anyone, nor are you in a competition for approval. What I have prepared for you does not rely on your achievements, but on my steadfastness. Remain attuned to my workings, even when it seems as though nothing is occurring. There will be times when the fruits may not be evident, but the roots are growing deep. Do not halt the process simply because the results are not visible yet. Truth takes time to unfold. Eternity is constructed in silence. In the interim, I am by your side. Do not struggle alone. Avoid overexertion, trying to mend what only I can transform. Remember, when you feel weak, this is not the conclusion. It signifies the moment to cease carrying burdens by yourself. I am sufficient. My strength is accessible not to those who deny their need, but to those who admit it. There is no shame in seeking assistance. Wisdom lies in finding it where it truly exists. While the adversary has attempted to confuse you, cause you to stumble, rob your peace, and fill your heart with doubt, he will not have the final word because I have already orchestrated your turning point. It will not be minor or mundane, but remarkable, because I will not only alter the trajectory of your circumstances, but I will also highlight that it was my handiwork. When that moment arrives, you will understand that it wasn't solely about escaping troubles, but about entering a new realm of purpose. So, let go of the anxieties. Surrender them. Do not carry what I have already lifted from you. When you genuinely trust in whom you have placed your faith, there is nothing to fear. In that rest, that surrender clarity will emerge regarding what once seemed ambiguous. I will guide you gently with strength and faithfulness, for this is not merely an end, but part of a larger design. What lies ahead
is more significant, profound, and purposeful. Nothing has been wasted. Every experience has been woven into the fabric of that design. And though that design can often be misunderstood, it has been crafted by my hands. Sometimes the heaviest loads are not those borne physically, but rather those concealed deep within your heart. These burdens are non-physical, yet gradually erode your hope. You have sensed this weight constantly, an unease that you sometimes struggle to articulate. It is not solely the visible challenges that deplete your energy, but the internal conflict that accumulates over time, the tension between what I have assured you and what remains unfulfilled. It embodies the gap between the promise and the reality surrounding you. I have noticed the way you have attempted to maintain composure in front of others, how you have avoided revealing the depth of your pain and the intensity of your struggle. But with me, there's no need for facades. You need not present a facade of strength to one who understands you completely. I do not shy away from your openness. I embrace it with compassion. I do not disregard your quietude or uncertainty. I grasp them far better than you can. Where you see unrest, I am weaving redemption. Where you perceive delays, I am moving at the ideal pace. I do not expect you to be tireless. I don't anticipate you possessing all the answers or displaying relentless faith every single day. What I seek from you is honesty, coming to me as you are without adornment or deception. When you approach me with an unguarded heart, the burdens you carry are released, allowing me to begin working in the depths of you that you haven't permitted me to touch before. The restoration I provide is not merely external. It encompasses your entire being. I am not solely focused on remedying your outward struggles, but on healing what lies broken within. Do not confuse silence with indifference. There are instances when my silence does not mean absence, but signifies my work on a deeper level. When everything appears stagnant, that is when I am arranging pieces, the most positioning aspects that you could not alter on your own. I have obstructed opportunities that would have misguided you. I have shut doors that appeared welcoming, yet would have quietly stripped away your peace. My motives stem not from harshness, but from love, as I possess a clear vision of the road ahead. I see tomorrow as clearly as today. Not everything you yearn for is intended to feature in the path I have laid out for you. Some things I allow simply to prompt you to realize they don't meet your true needs. There are requests that I haven't answered in the manner you anticipated, not due to lack of hearing, but from a deep love that refrains from providing what obstructs the genuine purpose I have for you. What may appear as a loss isn't always a defeat. Sometimes it serves as protection, a safeguard you won't entirely appreciate until the storm subsides and hindsight grants clarity. You are undergoing changes you didn't seek, but they are essential. I am leading you along a route you hadn't contemplated, for what I have in store for you diverges from what you have previously witnessed. I am enacting something novel, necessitating you to release the old, not just outwardly, but within your thoughts, your expectations, and how you interpret your experiences. I am renewing your comprehension. I am guiding you towards wise decisions, recognizing truth and distinguishing what is enduring from what is fleeting. Avoid clinging to what has already passed simply because it once offered solace. Sometimes the most challenging task is letting go of what was beneficial for a season but no longer belongs to your future. Do not fear the transformations outside your control. When I initiate changes, they always provoke inner transformation, and that change holds greater value than any external triumph. I am cleansing your perceptions so that you do not evaluate your life through worldly measures. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. And no, I have not abandoned you. Even if the world around you feels precarious, a protective shield surrounds you that nothing can shatter. I am active even when your emotions suggest otherwise. Do not rely on feelings. Rest in the knowledge you possess that my faithfulness remains unwavering. Even on the darkest days, there was enough light for you to persevere. Even when uncertainty clouded your next steps, quiet guidance upheld you. This was purposeful, not coincidental. Every step is significant. Nothing has been squandered. I have utilized the most unexpected circumstances to mold what will support you in the days to come. I have embraced your weaknesses with my strength. I have permitted certain wounds to become avenues of sensitivity in places where you once felt numb. Growth often arises through suffering. Not because suffering is my ultimate intention, but because amidst it you unearth truths you might never pursue during times of ease. Your journey is not simply a catalog of failures, but rather showcases divine interventions. Not everything that unfolded differently than you envisioned constitutes a mistake. Some of those winding paths have been reshaped to fulfill my purpose, even though you may not perceive it yet. I am redeeming what you believed was irretrievable, restoring what was fractured when you lacked the clarity to mend it. This will occur without needing explanations or validation from others. My endeavors within you do not seek approval from humanity. What I initiate, I bring to fruition, and I never leave it incomplete. My feelings about you remain steadfast. This interval, which you might regard as pointless, teems with intricate details that I am meticulously assembling. Although the entire image may not be visible to you yet, believe in my meticulous effort. What you perceive as waiting, I perceive as shaping. Your view of stagnation is actually profound, for I am not constructing something trivial but something resilient, and such a process requires time. Once finished, it will withstand any tempest. Continue advancing even if your pace is gradual. You don't need to rush, simply persist. I seek not perfection, but surrender. And that is what you are already offering. A heart that despite its wounds continues to believe brings me joy, one that even without complete understanding maintains its trust. My strength knows no bounds. This truth resides deep within you even when life's storms attempt to obscure it. I am the Creator who formed you in your mother's womb, the presence that has been with you even in your solitude. I have witnessed your falls, your struggles, your silent tears as you concealed your hurts from others, though not from me. Now I address you gently, with the unwavering love of a father. You have endured sufficiently. I understand the fatigue of your spirit. I have perceived the sighs buried deep within you, the thoughts swirling like dark clouds in your mind. Do not believe for an instant that you are forgotten, or that your tears have fallen onto barren soil. Every tear has been gathered, every one tallied. Nothing you have experienced has escaped my notice. Even during times when you assumed my silence indicated abandonment, you were still cradled in my care. My eyes never ceased to watch over you. My concern for you remains unwavering. I, the everlasting God, have accompanied you every moment, even through your fearful steps. I urge you to anchor your trust in me and embrace tranquil patience. For everything has its appointed moment under heaven, and your time of renewal is approaching. What you regarded as loss was not a conclusion, but a metamorphosis. The pain you endured was never meant to annihilate you, but to unveil a strength within you that you were unaware of. I have permitted certain experiences not out of delight in your suffering, but to cultivate a character in you that can withstand future trials.
a heart that finds tranquility amid turmoil, and a faith that remains steadfast even when the world around you trembles. From the instant you genuinely opened your heart to me, my intentions began to unfold for your benefit. Even when you remained oblivious, my angels were dispatched to guard you. Potent forces have arisen against the blessings I am preparing for you because they understand the significance it will hold in your life. That's why the struggle has been so intense, not due to your solitude, but because of the greatness that lies ahead. An unseen conflict has been unfolding with you at its heart. Yet do not be dismayed. I am your shield, your fortress, and your refuge in times of distress. I implore you to not allow sorrow to take root in your heart. Do not forge an alliance with pain. The adversary desires you to believe that this situation will endure indefinitely, that this represents your only reality. But I assure you that is false. Steer clear of influences that undermine your faith, that draw you into despair. Refrain from nurturing your thoughts with words devoid of faith, or with those who can no longer recognize my power in action.